しのどさくさに紛れていたずらをこれは明暗ですわね。疲れを取るマッサージはいかが？
チップもねえのに誰かの言うことを聞くなんて冗談じゃねえ。ああ、できればサボりてえ。
It's happening, boys. It's really, really finally happening. We got a good dust. Let's go. Hey guys, Katsuma Gaming here. New banner dropped. Maid Recruit Part 5, and I want to give you a quick rundown about the units and if you should summon on this banner or not. Let's get going. First, let's take a quick look at my beautiful, beautiful dog. By the way, if you guys still haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. Link is down in the video descriptions, check it out. But let's first take a look at Mel. And first info that I want to share with you guys is this is a permanent banner, of course, like all automate banners, so this already brings the value of this banner down by a lot. But you know, if you have 4-star tickets and you have nothing else that you want to save it up for, like for example the Arabic Union, what I'm saving up for, you can at least throw a few of them in there. Maybe you get something new there, that's something. Anyway, Mel. Physical attack, passive trait, good as an assist, especially right now we don't have that many Mels that have physical attack, passive trait. We have Onsen and we have her, so these two would at least be like the perfect subs for OG Mel, so that's something to go by. She has a random attack, so 2 times 195% damage, which is pretty decent damage-wise on a 70-second cooldown. She also has a single target physical attack skill that also blocks debuffs, and that's something the boss in the current arena is doing. He will apply tier 3 physical and magical attack down, I think. Or is it just physical? I don't know. Anyway, he applies a debuff, so that makes her great for the current arena. Don't get me wrong. The big problem is just that that's the only arena where we kind of have that problem with debuffs. And worst case, for other arenas, we also have Eye Patch Migu. We can also just work as debuff blocker, since most of the times boss only do the debuff like once at the beginning of the battle. And this is one of the few exceptions where the boss actually applies it 2 times, I think. So having her there makes sense, helps a lot, don't get me wrong. But also only 162% damage, and keep in mind her ulti 2, the neutral damage ulti, is not that great. It does nothing that amazing. You probably are just better running her ulti 1 version 2, which of course gets resisted. And that brings us to the pros and cons of this Mel. Pro, of course, she's a debuff blocker, but that's also a con. That's her only main niche that she has. Personal damage is sadly really low thanks to non-super effective ultimates. Only big damage from a random hit and, you know, normal basics. So her damage is fine, but like it's not amazing enough that I'm like, wow, she's going to be amazing. And keep in mind, we already know that beginning of September, Fast Hour is coming, aka a new really strong dark unit that just leaves even less room for her to shine. And yeah, that just means she's not good. Sorry guys. For everyone who hoped we get a good Mel, I'm sorry. OG Mel will stay supreme, will stay the best Mel for a long time. Sadly, nothing changes there. Second unit is Dust, and as I teased it before, it's a good Dust. Finally, if we take a look at the other Dust, we see that D, C, B, nothing amazing, but at least the JP tier list, this is an S- Dust. That's pretty good for a Dust, don't get me wrong. Why is he so good? First step, physical attack, passive trait, nothing too crazy. All other Dusts pretty much have that, so yeah, what kind of whatever. But his skills are pretty interesting. First step, he has an HP condition skill, single target, so 228% damage is pretty good. It also applies a party tier 1 dark elemental buff, which is great for your team's overall damage. Second skill is a God consumption skill. Again, I know we got already some, and we still getting a few more before Thumbs Up is done with them for a long time. So stay strong here. We get through it, but at the same time, I actually really like the idea of gauge consumption skills, especially for units who have not that good ultimates or just elemental ultis, so you don't have a neutral ulti that you can default in if you don't have an effective ultimate. There I really like that, because that just means instead of using your ultimate, you're trading the gauge that you normally would need for your ulti to just do more damage, since you don't want to ult anyway. That way, it kind of makes sense here, since Dust ultis are sadly not that strong, so that's kind of amazing for him here. 17-second cooldown only is also pretty POC. You need some gauge up, I think, with him to use the skill on cooldown with the gauge consumption to be triggered, but anyway, that's a pretty solid kit. One thing I want to say here though is he's best as a rear unit, aka a slot 4 unit to come in, provide dark elemental damage buff, get maybe bonus gauge if needed, just use his skill for one last nuke and the run should be over. That's his best use case, but you can still use him at the moment at least as a front unit, because his party tier 1 dark elemental damage buff is still good to have for the other units, but the longer we go, the less use case he will have as a front unit. So that simply means good dust, Mameru, but again, it's a permanent banner. We're getting a fast banner rather soonish, because set itself moved stuff around, and that just means we're getting 2 fast banners pretty close one to another. But this will be hopefully the only time, unless they actually move third Anni again to make it fit and stuff like that. Anyway, we will see how that goes, but yeah, that's all I can say to these units. If we take a quick look at the tier list, for example, you can see I put them both into the strong unit tier list, simply because they are good now for this physical arena. They are in theory still decent enough to use in physical dark arenas, but I can't call them meta units, because dark arena is most of the time just mages. We have rare arenas where we actually use physical units. This will change the moment we get Maple as a unit, because Maple is that strong that she can kind of force at least a hybrid unit arena, but right now mages stay strong in dark, which means physical dark units are probably not meta. Even for Dust, you can just use Valentine's Comic because it's slot 4 unit. She also has a tier 3 physical magical attack buff and the gauge consumption skill as well to just do the same kind of nuke, just more selfish damage than team damage provided from the tier 1 dark elemental boost that Dust normally would provide. And that just means he's also probably not that often used, which is kind of sad, because again, his kit is not bad, don't get me wrong. His kit is really good. It just, there's no room for him, and there are no proper teams to utilize him the most. But that summarizes it all. I still hope this helps you out. If you decide to still summon because you want a good dust, I fully respect the decision. Good luck with your summons. Otherwise, save your quartz, wait for 2.2 with Anni, and see you all on the next one. Bye bye. By the way, guys, if you want to watch me do arena runs live without the new Dust and Mel, remember to join the live stream today at twitch.tv/katsumagaming or at youtube.com/@katsumagaming. See you there. Bye bye.